Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because today we're diving headfirst into one of the most explosive moments in daytime television history, a clash that left jaws on the floor and social media ablaze from coast to coast. Picture this, the bustling studio of The View, that iconic roundtable where hot topics sizzle and celebrities spill the tea, suddenly erupting into a verbal wildfire that no one saw coming. It was a crisp autumn morning in New York City, the kind where the leaves are turning gold and the energy in the air is electric with anticipation. Sylvester Stallone, the undisputed king of grit and glory, the man who's punched his way through Rocky Balboa's ring and Rambo's jungles, strode onto the set with his trademark swagger, that sly grin hinting at stories untold. At 79, Sly still commands the room like a lion in his prime, his broad shoulders and weathered face a testament to decades of battles won on screen and off. He was there to promote his latest venture, a gritty memoir titled From Hell's Kitchen to Hollywood's Heights, a raw recounting of his improbable rise from obscurity to icon status, laced with anecdotes about overcoming dyslexia, poverty, and the cutthroat underbelly of Tinseltown. The co-hosts, a formidable quartet of wit and wisdom, greeted him warmly. Whoopi Goldberg with her infectious laugh, Sunny Hostin with her sharp legal mind, Sarah Haynes with her bubbly charm, and of course Joy Behar, the queen of unfiltered candor, whose tongue is as quick as a New York minute. The audience, a sea of eager faces under the bright lights, buzzed with excitement, unaware that this promotional pit stop was about to detour into drama of operatic proportions. Fast forward through the pleasantries, and there we were, deep into the heart of the interview, where Stallone's passion for his craft began to bleed into broader strokes about American dreamers and the grit it takes to claw your way up. He was mid-anecdote, his hands gesturing wildly like he was shadowboxing invisible foes, describing a pivotal moment in his career when he turned down a cushy role in a liberal-leaning drama because it clashed with his core beliefs. "Look, I ain't no politician," Sly declared, his Philly accent thickening with emotion, "but I've seen enough phonies in this town to know that real strength comes from sticking to your guns, no matter who's shooting at ya." The panel murmured in agreement at first, Whoopi praising his authenticity with a resounding amen to that. But Joy, perched at the end of the table like a hawk eyeing its prey, couldn't let it slide. With her trademark blend of humor and bite, she interjected, "Oh, come on, Sly, sticking to your guns? That's just code for digging in your heels on outdated ideas. We've got enough macho posturing in Washington. Don't tell me the Italian stallion's gone full MAGA on us." The studio gasped collectively, a ripple of shockwave rolling through the crowd as Sly's easy smile faltered for the first time, his jaw setting like concrete. What started as a zinger intended to lighten the mood, or so Joy later claimed, landed like a sucker punch, slicing straight through the veneer of civility. Stallone leaned forward, his eyes locking onto Behar's with the intensity of a man staring down an opponent in the 15th round. "Joy, with all due respect, and yo, I mean that, you got no idea what it's like to grow up fightin' for every scrap. My guns? They're forged from real blood, sweat and tears, not some ivory tower tweet storm." The audience was split down the middle, half cheering Sly's raw defense of the working man, the other half nodding vigorously at Joy's call-out of celebrity conservatism. The temperature in the studio had skyrocketed, metaphorically speaking, but it felt like the very lights overhead were dimming under the weight of the unfolding melee, casting long shadows over the once cozy set. Sylvester Stallone, no stranger to high-stakes drama, was now fully in the ring, his responses laced with the poetic fury of a man whose life was a montage of comebacks. "You wanna talk toxic? Try being the kid who stuttered through school, laughed at for dreamin' big, only to hear from folks like you that ambition's a four-letter word if it don't fit your narrative." His words hung heavy, a raw nerve exposed for all to see, and for a split second, even Joy paused, her firebrand facade cracking just enough to reveal the comedian beneath, the one who thrives on pushing buttons but knows when she's hit bone. Yet pause she did not. Behar, with her decades of battling hecklers and headlines, fired back with surgical precision, her Brooklyn bravado matching Sly's street-tough resolve. "Narrative? Sweetheart, my narrative's written in the marches I walked and the jokes I told when it wasn't safe to be a loudmouth broad. You're the one peddling nostalgia for a 70s America that left out half the cast, women, people of color, anyone who didn't look like you in the ring." The audience reaction was a cacophony of cheers and boos, a microcosm of the nation's divide, with some leaping to their feet in solidarity, others sinking into stunned silence. Whoopi Goldberg, the seasoned moderator with a Rolodex of crisis management, interceded more forcefully now, her voice booming like a gavel, "Okay, time out. We're here to celebrate Sylvester's incredible journey, not autopsy politics. Let's breathe, people." But the horse had bolted, the genie was out, and the damage rippled outward in real time, with executive producer tweets flying off desks and network execs glued to monitors in panic mode. And then, in a heartbeat that felt like slow motion to everyone watching, Sylvester Stallone rose from his seat like a colossus awakening, his presence filling the frame as he fixed Joy Behar with a stare that could curdle milk. "You know what, Joy? I've taken enough hits in my life, from fists to flops, but I ain't here to be your punching bag for ratings. This country's about second chances, not gotchas, and if you can't see that, maybe it's you who's stuck in the 70s. The words landed like a knockout blow, the studio plunging into a stunned hush broken only by the whir of cameras and the faint gasp from the front row. Joy's retort formed on her lips, "Oh please, playing the victim now?" But it never fully escaped, drowned out by Slice's decisive pivot toward the exit. With the grace of a man who'd stormed beaches in first blood, he adjusted his jacket, nodded curtly to the other hosts, "Whoopee ladies, it's been real," and strode off the set, his footsteps echoing like thunder in the sudden vacuum. The audience erupted into a frenzy of murmurs and flashes, some standing in ovation, others clutching pearls in disbelief, as stagehands scrambled to fill the void. Whoopi, recovering with the poise of a pro, ad-libbed a bridge, "Well folks, that's the passion that made Sylvester Stallone a legend, raw and unfiltered. We'll be right back after this fiery break." But the commercial couldn't contain the chaos. Monitors backstage showed feeds spiking across networks, with CNN and Fox News already looping the walkout in teaser glory. Joy Behar sat there, a mix of vindication and regret flickering across her face, mouthing a silent wow to Sarah, who patted her hand sympathetically. Sunny Hostin shook her head, whispering, "That escalated quick," while the panel collectively exhaled, the adrenaline crash hitting like a wave. Hours after the dust settled, or rather, billowed into a full-blown media maelstrom, the repercussions cascaded like dominoes toppling in a gale-force wind, reshaping narratives and alliances in ways no one could have scripted. Sylvester Stallone, ensconced in his Manhattan penthouse overlooking Central Park, fielded calls from agents ecstatic over the sales surge. "Sly, you're at #1, controversy sells." His memoir flew off virtual shelves, with readers devouring chapters on perseverance, many citing the interview as the hook that hooked them. But beneath the triumph lurked a tinge of melancholy. Sly, ever the philosopher fighter, tweeted a cryptic reflection, "In the ring or on the stage, sometimes walking away is the strongest punch." Thanks to The View for the reminder. #YoAdrian. The post garnered millions of likes, a digital roar of support from Heartland heroes who saw in him a bulwark against coastal condescension. Joy Behar, meanwhile, became the lightning rod for conservative ire, her inbox and mentions a battlefield of vitriol, yet she wore it like armor, appearing on late-night spots to defend her stance with that irrepressible spark. "Listen, I adore Sly, he's a hunk with heart, but when icons start echoing echo chambers that harm the vulnerable, somebody's gotta say it. And that somebody's me." Her candor won plaudits from progressives, spiking her stand-up tour tickets and spawning a viral hashtag Joy tells it like it is. The View's production team, nursing collective whiplash, issued a boilerplate statement praising passionate discourse, while quietly revising guest vetting protocols. No more live wires without a safety net. Whoopi, the glue holding it all, hosted a follow-up segment sans Sly, inviting cultural commentators to unpack the clash of titans, turning lemons into a ratings lemonade stand. Sunny and Sarah co-authored a light piece for People magazine, Lessons from the Hot Seat, When Talk Turns Tough, blending humor with heart.